All right, hey everybody. Making sure my audio is good. I think we're good. We're live now. Um, all right, so I spent some time yesterday. I put a new video on my YouTube, but I don't think I streamed it. But I basically built the commissary, and we can open up the commissary. Check it out. It's this one here, and as you can see, I even have it textured with the metal material. If you zoom up, you can kind of get a better idea. But yeah, I just kind of started the project. It needs a lot more work. Like I need to do the I-beams here. Need to put some windows for the serving of the food. Of course, I need to put some doors. So long way to go, but it's just a start. We're gonna go ahead and get started on a new level. I'm gonna go basic, and we're gonna do the trading post. I think this would be a fun one to do. So uh, let's just go ahead and get started. So first things first, we need a measurement of the trading post. And to do that, we are going to go to our handy dandy Google Earth. Get rid of some of this stuff. I don't need to see that. Okay, I'm gonna go to our Google Earth. Let's X out of the commissary. Let's go see if we can find the trading post, and we can see the trading post. All right. So I think I uh, I had a picture of the commissary. I actually found it. I took a picture of this back in 2012, I believe, or 2011. So this picture's pretty old, but this is the metal building of the commissary, kind of giving us an idea of what it looks like. So um, I don't think I have one for the trading post. I don't think I have a video or a picture of the trading post, at least handy. So yeah, if anyone has a picture of the trading post, let me know. So let's go ahead and measure this. We're gonna go from here. I think from here to here is probably good. Let's make it like 14 meters by 10 meters. I think that would make sense, right? All right, let's get our notes out. And trading post is 14 meters by 10 meters. Right. So jumping back into our level here, we're going to lay down a floor with our starter content, architecture, and we're going to pull the floor down. Let's raise the floor, then hit end, and we'll drop it down. And we're going to resize this. Before we do that, let's make sure our snapping is on because we want to make sure we're exactly on the right um, amount of units here. Let's actually move it into a good position. Let me move that snapping a little bit differently. Okay, that should be lined up with the exact right spot. Oh, I'm getting a call. Let me pause the stream. I just realized my audio was off. Should be back on now. All right. Now we are going to put some walls down. So remember we had like a picnic table area out front, and then there was this open area, maybe a trash can, which let's see if the fab has a trash can that we can borrow sometime. Trash can. What price is free? Because we like free things. And I think this trash can here looks pretty good. Hopefully I can download it. Yep, looks like I can. And let's put the trash can out right here. Static mesh, and then we'll load the trash can. And again, for some reason, it is showing as upside down. So I'm going to rotate 90 degrees, or 180 rather. And then let's bring it up and then drop it down. I think that's pretty good size for a trash can. All right. Excuse me. Okay, now we're going to put some walls in. Starter content architecture, and I think these walls are probably, I don't know, maybe that tall. Does that seem right? It's not too tall, not too short. It's just about right. Put my snap to grid back on. I'm gonna go by tens. We'll use this wall. Just gonna place this wall here, and let's go ahead and spin it up just a little bit. Doesn't need to be too thick. Remember, this is like a metal wall basically. And I think we'll want to go over just a little bit, and then probably down. Oh, you know what? This is a concrete pad, so let's actually enlarge all of the floors here. Just because it's a concrete pad, and we want to make it just a little bit bigger. Because it's probably pretty thick concrete, I would assume. All right. And that way we can kind of drape our wall over the side of it just ever so slightly. And I'm going to raise that up and then drop it down. Let's also move this out of the way so we can actually drop it. And select our floors again, and then we're going to hit end, and then we'll drop them all. I think it should have. We've only dropped the ones that aren't intersecting with other objects, so I don't like that. I think what I should probably do is wait to add the trash can and the picnic tables until later. So I'm going to move those out of the way. That way I can just work with the architecture. So once again, grab all my floors. And I'm going to drop them down. Ah, dang it. This mannequin's also there. Him out of the way. Let's actually, do we even need this? Oh yeah, we do. Drop that Well, hold on. That's going to cause a problem. First, we'll move the mannequin. And then we'll select all of our floors. And then we'll action it and drop it. Okay, so our floors are on the bottom. And we have thickened the floor just a little bit, because it is a concrete floor. And then let's move our wall just ever so slightly over the edge, and there's a little bit of a overlap there, so we can at least see a little bit of the concrete. Again, having a picture of the admin building might be suitable whenever we're working with architecture here, so we can get a reference. But I'll see if I can find one later. Okay, so let's just keep adding our wall, and I think it goes out to probably there. I'd say that feels fairly good. I can always adjust later. Let's grab those. Let's move on. We'll duplicate, click Alt, move it all the way over. And same thing, we're gonna overlap just slightly, and that's actually perfect. All right, with that, we're gonna move this over, swing it around 90 degrees. There we go. And then just put that right into place. Should probably bring this out just one little increment. That might be too far. Let's change our grid size, move it over. There we go. That's perfect. And I think I want to move that out, and then that looks great. Okay. And let's Alt move that over until we get a little bit of an intersection. It's probably fine. And we just need one more. Move that over right there. I'm going to actually change the size. So that I don't have overlapping walls, because I've noticed I've started clipping really bad with some of my overlapping walls. Shut off resize snap because I need to get really fine grained here. Oh boy. Let me change scale with my fine grained. Oh, it's doing all three. Don't want that. I want to unlock that and then just do the Z. There we go. Nope. One over right there. Actually, that's not it either. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay. We do have a little hiccup there, but that's okay. All right. Now let's take our walls here and move them forward with a duplicate and drag. Make sure we can line all those up. Maybe put a little bit of an overlap there. That's good. Seamless. And this ground is really going nuts. I'm going to change that. It's really bothering me. I don't know if I can. Can I change the location of the sun? Nope, we just got a disco party for sure. The ground is going crazy. I don't know how to shut that off, but oh well. Guess our ground is going to be having a party. Okay. Um, so let's copy all the floors and drag them up. So we have a roof. And then I'm also going to make them just a little bit bigger. It might be too big. Do that. Oh yeah, I think that's good. A little bit of issue, but it's character. It's kind of my go-to phrase. Is it just got some? It has some character. Okay, looking at Google Earth, it seems like this is kind of it has like a slope, right? There's like a pinnacle. So we're gonna have to make another um, truss, um, sort of like roof. So I know how to do that. And we're actually gonna make two pieces here. We're gonna alt drag this, bring it up, and we're gonna rotate it maybe 15 degrees. That would be good. Bring that up. And then let's just move it back ever so slightly. And the roof might be a little bit thinner. So I'm just gonna make it just a tad. Oops, I'm gonna make it a tad smaller in this direction. All right. And we'll drop it down. Just so it has slight overhang, as if it's like a metal roof, you know. And then we will alt drag that. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna snap on my grid. So I got 10. We're gonna alt drag, move that over, alt drag, move it over. And same thing, alt drag, move it over. And that's nice because we have a little bit of an overhang there as well. And we just grab all of these and we alt drag them. We do a little bit of rotation by 180. Drag that over. Just put that right into place. Give it a little overhang. Let's line it up. I think that's good. And then maybe make this one just a little bit longer. And same with this one. All right. So this point, we need these to intersect. And I'm now noticing that I should probably have spun those around, because I think regardless, yeah, that's not going to work. How do I want to do this? Let's spin that around. And let's spin those around. And then put those into place. And we should be able to elongate them to where they end up intersecting just barely. That just slightly. Go check this side. Let's make this one just a little bit longer. Yep. Okay. And then we'll put this one into place too. Oh, I accidentally grabbed that. Let's get rid of that. Probably need to reopen my world because this floor is just going absolutely nuts. It is actually starting to bother me. I'm just gonna make sure this placement's good. Seems like I could drag it all over just slightly. That's fine. And we'll call that fine. Okay, I'm gonna save my level. I'm gonna call this trading post. And then I'm gonna open my commissary. We'll see the floor is not moving, and let's open our trading post again, and our floor is still moving. Okay. How do I fix that? Let's do a quick Goog. Unreal floor grid is 15 for 3. Flickering grid floor. This happens because grid is exactly the same position as the surface of the floor. It's called Z-fighting. The best workaround is to disable the grid by unchecking show grid. Okay. Show. There's no show. Maybe there is show here and then turn off grid. That didn't do anything. That didn't work. Oh wait. Oh, it definitely didn't work. Whenever I click away, it works. Okay, that was probably going to work, but how do I unshow things in Unreal? I'm gonna hide show objects in editor in under 1 minute. Hopefully this video is not super old. Yeah, it's only 6 months. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go visibility. Okay, cool. Hide selected. We can hit H. You can hit Control H. Or you can go. Okay, those are actual things, not like functions of the engine itself. Unshow viewport items. I don't know what it's called. Hide viewport UIs, maybe. Camera assets general. Hide UI. Nope, that's not it. Customizing viewport interface. What is this menu called? I just feel like there's probably a a reason why this is not actually toggling, because, oh, I guess I can untoggle fog. Oh, okay, the grid is actually going away. Actually, I just didn't take the time to see that. So yeah, the grid is for sure going away whenever I click that. But it's, of course, still flickering. So let's call this, let's see, Unreal Grid Floor Flickering. Let's see what this person says. Oh, it's a little bit of reflection in the gun. One thing it could be is that this floor has a specific material tied to it. So let me change the floor material. Let me select the floor and let's lock this over here. If we look at the floor grid, can we change the grid to gray? Okay, that is still flickering. What if I change it to, wow, that's even worse. What the heck? What about some grass? Okay, the grass flickers. Whatever that is. Okay, this is all flickering. Hmm. What about metal? It flickers too. Okay, I give up. Sorry, guys, I need to figure this out before going any further. Uh, One thing we could do is just open this up to um, another app or another instance. So I think what I'll do is probably just select all this stuff and then put it into a group. What is this floor? Oh, I found it. Okay, good. I found it. Sorry, I'll show you what I did. So there's two floors right here. And apparently I dropped another floor down. See if I click on this. Oh, I know what I did. I probably hit the floor because if you come out here, you can actually see a whole nother floor showing up. Like the actual world floor. That's the problem. I'm learning Unreal as we speak. So if I hide this, then you can see the Z fighting is what it's called. I've watched a few videos on Z fighting, and that's actually what's going on. So I accidentally duplicated the floor. So floor 2 needs to be uh, removed from the world. It needs to be Thanos out of the world. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Okay. Now, getting back to business, we are going to expand all of the panels. Oh, what the heck? Oh, did I? I thought I already moved them. Maybe not. Or something went wonky. Maybe it depends on where this is selected first. Or it depends on the angle that they're at. Let me try rotating the other way. And then making them a little bit bigger. Okay. So then let me that this way. These. Make that 15 degrees that way. Move them over. We'll go down, move it over. Oh, I accidentally selected everything. Move them down, over and down. Okay. So now, should be able to make these bigger that way. Yeah, there we go. Same with these. And, oh crap, I have those still selected. That's been a problem this episode, is I'm selecting more than I should. Oh, beautiful. And we got a little bit of an overlap. Seamless. Oh, I should probably make those a little overhung. Yeah, let me do that. Let me select all of these guys. And I think what I'll do is move it out ever so slightly. And move it down. And then let's make it a little taller. And same with these. Move those out just a little bit. And then down. Might be a little bit too far down. Yeah, that's good. And then do a little bit of an overlap. Yeah, that looks fine. Maybe it's a little too, just barely. Right there. Yeah, that'll work. Should probably move that just slightly. No, we'll call that good. Okay. On one of my previous videos, I was trying to figure out how to do triangles. I still haven't gotten that done. So I'm gonna get that done later. But let's go ahead and put our tables in just to make sure that they are the right size. I thought I had 3 tables. That's really weird. Maybe I deleted one of them. Let me look at my outliner. I have 3 tables. Yeah, there's one poly. Where did the other one go? Let's go find it. How did that get there? I don't know. Unreal has a mind of its own. I really don't feel like lining that up, so I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to place this wherever I want. And then I'm going to line it up and duplicate it. So let's make it right on the end there. And we'll let's duplicate that. And duplicate that. Okay. Things are looking good. All right, I'm going to use a really cool tool that I just started learning, which is called the modeling tool. And specifically, we are going to use a mirror cut, I believe. No, not the mirror cut. Actually, I should probably make these different. Make these different sources so I don't cut them both. So I'm gonna actually duplicate this. I think I can make this a different source. Let me Google this real quick, because if I cut it, it's going to cut both of them in the exact same way, and I want to cut like a window. So make, let's start with Unreal, make a mesh from make a duplicate mesh from another source. Something like that. How to duplicate meshes without making it an instance. Copy and paste, duplicate the mesh. Once I change one of them, all copy ones will change the same. It seems duplicated ones are instances of the original. Duplicate the file in the editor context browser rather than duplicating the actor in the world. That's the same as duplicating the file from the OS. Each mesh will be individual. Run how reading allows workers. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I understand what they're saying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make just a big window right here, but as we can see, it overlaps both of those. So I'm gonna go into my item here, and we're going to go find the static mesh that this belongs to by going to our browser. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to call this wall 2. And we're going to bring this wall 2 into our environment. And we're going to see how big this one is. This is a 1 by 0.5, 3125 by 1. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to make that the same width, basically, is what we're going after. Oh, that's locked. So let me unscale that. Let me unlock it so not all 3 of them move at the same time. All right, so that should be the same size. And then we're going to rotate it. Let me also shut off surface snapping. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then move it into place. And I have to be pretty precise here because it is a wall. So I'm going to turn on my units here, make sure we're right on. And there we go. I also think I should move it up just slightly so it's right there. Perfect. Okay. Also going to make this a little bit shorter so it lines up and is exactly even with that. And if I select that, is there any overlap? I think there is just a little bit. I'm going to move it back just a tad. And I'm going to turn on snapping so we get I don't know if I should do snapping. Let me slide this, see if I can get that. There we go. We can be a little more precise there. Yeah, that works. We'll do that. We can do some overlap, that's fine. Okay, so back to the slicing. I'm going to move my sun so that we have a little more light here. Something like that. All right, so we need to make a window right here. I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to go into my modeling tool. I'm going to go to model. And then I need to go to, not mirror, maybe deform. Make this a little bigger. Might be plain cut. No, it's not plain cut. It's like it's actually a poly cut, but I'm afraid that because I have 2 selected, I can't poly cut both of them at the same time. So that's fine. Let's just poly cut one at a time. And what I have here is basically just a big like rectangle thing. So I need to change the width And instead of a circle, I need a square, maybe a rectangle. And I think I need to change this polycut to be, how do I want to do this? Because it's currently bisecting the wall there, but I want to actually cut like a hole in the wall. Maybe there's a different cut type. Plane cut. No, it's not a plane. Oh, cut through, trim inside. Maybe that's what we want. Oh, we can draw a poly. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that's it. Cut outside. Oh, I see. Okay. Cut through. Maybe cut through is what we need. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's make this 180. And now 90. All right. And then we're going to make our window just a little bit bigger. Width. Okay, that's a rectangle. Rectangle's fine. Um, let's rotate 90 degrees. Oh, yeah. And we're just going to move it up. Honestly, I think that's fine. I don't want to get too carried away before I like really mess things up. All right. Move my details pane back over here. All right, cool. In our content fab explorer, I'm gonna look for some glass, just like a pane of glass, like a window glass. Because this was just a single pane of glass, I think. Maybe it was like two windows, but the glass I remember was pretty big. Uh, 3D, maybe something like that until we find a better piece of glass. Maybe this one, as long as it's see-through. I think it is see-through. That'll look really cool in the world. Oh my god, the window is huge and it's off kilter. That's weird. And it's also very shaded. Wow. Okay, let's make this adjust to the real world. And actually make it much smaller. Let's change to world space. World space. Nope, I guess I can't do that. It doesn't like world space. Um, okay. And we will. I don't like that at all. That is just terrible. I hate this poly. We're not going to use it. You can get right out of here. There's this one. Let's maybe try this one. I used this one on the admin building and I really liked it. I know it's not really the window that we used here, but this will be just a placeholder for now. Move it back. Yeah. Okay. Just a little bit bigger. All right, that looks terrible, but that'll do. Um, while I'm here, I'm just gonna move this over and be very lazy because I don't feel like cutting out another poly. But this is much more accurate. I think this might have been a sliding window door because this was the trading post and then this was the concession stand. And I think we had a sign out next to the concession stand, if I remember correctly. Concessions sign. And then price free. Let's see. We can just find, yeah, something like this would be kind of cool. You know, just to give it a little bit of character. It'd be cool if I can change what this sign says. And we can put some chocolate tacos down. And while we're making this change, might as well put our trash can up here. Oops. Let me snap to the surface and then move it over. Okay. I'm pretty sure we had I-beams here, just like the admin building. So, or no, maybe they were poles. I think they were metal poles. Let me know in the chat if you think they were different. But metal poles, metal pole. Let's look at only 3D items. What is this? I don't know what that is. I don't want that. We could also, yeah, we could also just make our own poll. Yeah, let's do that. We'll make our own poll, and then we'll add a metal material to the poll so that we can customize it ourselves. So to do that, we're going to go content drawer. Let's see if architecture has a pole, has a pillar. What does this look like? Okay, it's square. Do we have a circular one? Question mark. We have some shapes here. We have a shape tube. Oh, that might work. Sure. And let's make this taller and then a little bit skinnier. Something like that. We'll move it right onto there. And then we'll make it just a little bit shorter so that it intersects that. Beautiful. I change my flight speed to be something like that so that I'm not zooming around too much. Oh, that's perfect. Maybe just slightly in. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and we'll alt drag. If there was one there. like kind of right in front of the door. Do one there. And one finally right here. Okay, and then all 4 of these are going to get a material, mega scan, surfaces. Nope, that's not it. Metal material, materials. Here we go. Let's try this. Maybe this one. Let's see what that looks like. It seems right. I mean, it might have been painted, perhaps, but not too much of a stickler. Okay, all these floors, I'm going to also make cement, make them cement floors. Oh, and we don't want the top floors because those are technically roofs. So let's deselect all those. Okay, so it's going to be those all the way to there. And then let's go find a cement surface. Concrete, I think is what we used. Tab, mega scans, surfaces, concrete floor, material, and we'll just drag that over here. All right, there we go. Our floor now is concrete. We change the sun, we can see that it looks more like concrete. And then the top needs to also be painted metal. And I really like the white painted metal, the corrugated. So I'm going to drop that down. And unfortunately, that's running sideways. Your corrugated metal would never run sideways. So that's not good. We're going to probably have to redo those. But our walls should work. So I'm just going to select all my walls. And same thing, we're going to drag our corrugated metal and make those textures. And there we go. Okay. Final thing is maybe a door. I think I already had a door, but I had varying opinions on it. I don't even know where it's at. I'm gonna go to my root and I'm just gonna search for door. Maybe this one? Yeah, this one's great. I think the door was like right here. And then that's it. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Might move this over just a little bit. Yeah. All right, let's move this to where the light is a little more appropriate. Maybe something like that. Maybe. If I go and play it. Oh, I started inside of the building. That's hilarious. I don't want to start inside the building. So I'm going to move my player start outside the building. And then play. All right, there we go. Okay. I think this looks pretty good, guys. Pretty happy with that. You know, I'll fix the triangle up there, the truss, eventually. Not today. I need to probably spend some time learning how to make an appropriate triangle. Okay, let's get rid of our mannequin. Not the floor, the mannequin. All right. And then I'm going to leave all this stuff in here and make it part of the level instance. So pretty much just going to grab everything here, except for our player start. And that's it. All right, so I'll show you what I'm doing here on the side, but I'm going to take all these items, I'm going to group them, and then I'm going to take that group, wherever it is, there it is, group actor, and then I'm going to go to level, I'm going to create level instance, and I'm going to call this trading post. Trading post already exists, so you want to replace it. Let's call this trading post underscore li for level instance. We'll hit save. And that saves everything. Let's go to our actual Spanish Peaks level. Is that the right level? Open level. Last time I saved this was 11.6. Last time I saved this was 11.9. So this is the correct one. I'll save all those. Yep. So we're going to go place this in the actual level that we created. So excited. I love placing actual rendered buildings that I've created. Man, it's taken a little bit to load because this level is very resource intensive at this point. All right. And we're going to just go this way. We're going to look away from the grass because the grass is what kills our frame rate. And we're good now. Let's go this way. Look away, kids. Don't look at the grass. Going so slow. Let's bump this up to 5. All right. We even got Manny sitting there waiting for us to put down our trading post. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is delete the trading post. And I have a rough idea of where it's going to be because Manny's there. Let's go to landscape mode. And we're going to just flatten this area first because we need to place a building down. If you remember, there was a pretty big like hill right here. And I can resculpt it here later. I can make this a little more appropriate, but I just want to make sure a building actually fits because I don't know how big it actually is relative to this environment. Okay, so if we go to our content drawer and we go down to our SPSR content and then go to levels, we'll see our trading post level instance. We just drag it into the world and let go, and it will create the new level instance. And then let's change to selection, and we just click on it, and it'll select all the elements there. Let's rotate it into place. And I'm going to shut off snap for rotation. I'm also going to shut off snap to grid. We are going to leave on magnetic surface so that whenever I drag it, it drops to the bottom. See that? Wow, that's weird. Let's zoom out. Let's see if we can place this a little bit more. No, I think what's happening is Manny's in the way. So let's move Manny this way. Try to place that down. Okay, that's not going to behave. I'm going to shut off surface. And let's just place this manually. And hit end. And then we'll just slide it right into place. And we'll rotate and maybe move it back just a tad. And then maybe forward. All right. How does that look? We go down here. Does that seem accurate? What do you guys think? I think that's not too bad. Maybe just a little bit back. I dare play this. Let me do Control Save All. And I'm going to move my player start to where the camera's at, and then it's going to drop my player right down where it should be. We'll let this save real quick because I don't want to lose my placement. If it crashes, okay, move object to camera, and then we'll hit play. We'll let it compile just for a second. My computer's really slow, as I tell you every single day. Okay. We are at a frame rate of 2. Great. All right, this looks actually pretty good. That is amazing. I love this so much. This is so cool. This is so crazy. It's so trippy, isn't it? It's like we're at we're at camp. Oh geez. I don't know if I got it on camera, but I actually made a little pathway in these trees here to go up to the commissary. And I probably need to flatten the land up here at the commissary and make it a little better. And I need to put more picnic tables out and maybe some tents. Oh, another big project is I need to actually make the Bear Creek. That's gonna be a tough one. I'm probably only gonna have time to do a little bit at a time because I'm gonna add a bunch of rocks and like high res trees and stuff. So, but nice. Well, I'm glad you think it looks good, Abby. I definitely could use another pair of eyes. So cool. Yeah, my frame rate's terrible, but I bet we can make a handicraft lodge too. I actually flattened the area already here, so that it's like basically ready for the handicraft lodge. So while we're here, we might as well go make the handicraft lodge. So I'm going to exit out of my world here. Second Life, yeah, that's funny. I used to play that. Yeah, maybe we can have like a multiplayer mode where we can all get in and go play our parts. Like I'll go to outdoor skills and I don't know, just like kick some logs or something, and maybe I'll put in Chris if he can join someday. But yeah, that would be fun. All right, we're gonna go new level. We're gonna go basic, and this is gonna be the Handicraft Lodge, which we'll place right here. And first things first, let's go to Google Earth and see how big the Handicraft Lodge was or is. And that's about 9.5 meters by 6.5. Handicraft Lodge is 9.5 meters by 6.5 meters. All right. So we'll drop into our blank Unreal Engine world and we'll drop in our architecture for the floor, starter content, architecture for the floor, move it up a little bit, and then hit end. And I think I'm going to leave this one as thick as the starter floor is, just because this is a cement floor. I know that said that last time, but I think it's important. And it's going to be 6.5 by 9.5. So let's drag this over to 10. And I want to snap my movements to 10 so that I actually can get right on there, right butt up right next to it. Okay. My resize, I'm going to snap to, I think, half is what I said. No, that's not right. Half, probably 0.25. Let's try that. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9.5 would be this way. So it's 8, 9, and then let's go half. Nope, wrong direction. Let's go 1, 2, 5, and we'll go half right there. Okay, and then what was it? 4.5 or 6.5? Yeah, 6.5 meters. So we'll do 6.5 meters. It's already at 4. Let me just bump this up to 6.5. So that's 5, 6.5. There we go. That's pretty easy. All right, so now we'll put some walls. We'll do this as a 200 maybe. See what that looks like next to our mannequin. It's probably not gonna look great. It's probably gonna be a little too short. I don't think the Handicraft Lodge was that short. So let's go a normal wall. Architecture. Starter content, architecture. We'll use the same wall that we used for the trading post, which was 300. I think that's fine. And I'll snap that into place. Is that actually in the right spot? Change my camera. Go to like 2 maybe. And let me just move that into place. Change that to 5. Snap size. That's fine. I knew Handicraft Lodge was a little more like blocky. And we're gonna make that wall go out to the right size. Right there, perfect. Change my camera again. 5. And then let's just duplicate this and drag. So I'm going to hold down Alt and then drag. Let's make front. Just a little bit more right there. Perfect. Okay, and then we will hit Alt again, and we'll rotate this one. And let me snap rotation so we have the exact 90-degree angle. There we go. And then we'll just put that into place. There we go. And then we'll elongate that also. And let me snap resize so that I can exactly what I need. I think I went the wrong way. There we go. Nope, that also didn't work. Is it the right objects when you move them? Okay, this one was the resize. I think I want 0.1. Yeah, there we go. So same thing, we're gonna Alt and drag that over. And we'll just line this up. Perfect. Now we just need a roof. And we'll Alt drag this up. And we're gonna make the roof just slightly smaller so it doesn't interfere with the outside here. So to do that, I'm going to take toggle snap to size whenever I resize off. And then let's make this just ever so slightly smaller. And move that just a smidge, the X and the Y. And that should make it just so that we can't see it. And while we're here, I'm going to delete that. And I'll just Alt drag this over. And resize that. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at the Google Earth, and I can see another pinnacle up here, so that means we need to make another roof, another pinnacle roof. I really don't care for these. These are way harder than they should be. And we're going to use another floor. I don't think I want to do that. I think I just want to copy this. This one will hit Alt and then drag it up. I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller. So there's a roof. For some reason, I feel like I need to. And then I'm going to give this a classic 15-degree pitch. And then make this a little bit smaller. We'll move it just to the right ever so slightly. And a little bit of overhang there. It ends so it drops down. And then we'll hit Alt, move it over. And then I might just resize while I'm here. There we go. And we'll alt this. Maybe. Don't crash. Oh no, it just froze on me. I hope it's not crashing. Don't crash, please don't crash. I really don't want to make this again. Oh, it's just auto-saving. Okay. I'll let this auto-save. Please just save, and then we're good. Nope. It definitely is still frozen. Okay, I'm gonna Control Alt Delete. Oh my god. My mouse is actually not working. Did my mouse stop? Oh, my mouse stopped. That's the problem. My mouse died. Awkward. Well, I do have a backup mouse. So I guess we're going to use that. That scared me for a sec. So speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead and save this level. We're going to call this Handicraft Lodge. Okay, where were we? We were making a new instance of this. And let's then rotate it. And then move that sucker down. And make sure that's lined up perfectly. That looks great. And then move it over. And that should be pretty perfect. Make sure we have the same degree of overhang. Just a little bit of intersection at the pinnacle. Looks so fabulous. All right, let's put our handy dandy door on this because I really like that door that we used. So let's go find that door, drop it down, and rotate that. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'm gonna have to stop the stream. I will be back in a little bit. Thanks for joining. Okay, we are back and recording. Okay. So we are continuing on the Handicraft Lodge, and yeah, just putting a door down. I think this door is one we used on the admin building, which was really good. I like that door a lot. All right, I think the Handicraft Lodge had a like cement pad in front, like a really big cement pad. So I think what we'll do is actually bring this door down just a tad. And then let's put another floor down and we're gonna just Alt and move that. And then let's make this a little bit smaller in the X and Y. We're gonna move that in. Just move it over like so. And just got a little cement pad like that to be right there in front of the door. Let me just move this down just a tad. There we go. Actually, I think I like it a little bit higher. And let's move this cement pad up, and I think I'll just make it a little bit bigger in the Z. And then we will move that up there. We just need to make sure it is flush. Oh, it's definitely not flush. This door could probably go back just a tad. Yep, and then move this. Is that flush? I think that looks good. That's center. That's mostly center. It doesn't have to be perfect, but yep. So the Handicraft Lodge also had a door that would swing out, like a window door on the side here that would swing out. So I'm gonna add those as well. And we're just gonna actually make a cutout. Oh, nice. Okay, Sean Sally just sent me a map of camp with all of the hiking trails. This is amazing. Nice job. I love that. Okay. I'm definitely going to be incorporating that into some of my development. Cool. All right, I'll make sure that all of the campsites are in the right spots. Let me go ahead and share these to my phone, or sorry, to my computer, and then I'll put them up on the screen here so we can all look at them. Okay, so let's make some, I think there were two sort of open window door things here. So we're going to actually use um, our polycut tool, and we're probably going to have to make another instance of this wall, because if we don't, it's going to cause some problems. So to do that, we're going to go to our wall instance. We'll go down to architecture and find our wall here. We're going to duplicate, and then we're going to call that wall 400 by 300 3. Let's bring that out into our world. Let's delete that. Let's get our parameters for this wall. We're going to duplicate these parameters as well. Scale is 2.35 1 by 1, so we're going to make this 2.35 1 by 1, and then we will rotate that guy 90 degrees and then put him into place. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll get the job done. Okay. Wrong wall. Make sure I pick up the right wall. Move that over just a tad. Okay, it should be lined up there, lined up there. Maybe it needs to go over just a little bit. Yeah, it could use a little more. How's that? Perfect. And then let's move it up where it meets the top. And I'm realizing that this side is not overlapping, and I could probably overlap all of these. Let's move them all down at once. Move them all down just a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's make those windows. So we're going to polycut this one, and we'll go to modeling, and we'll hit model, polycut. And I'm trying to remember how we do this. It's not cut through, maybe it is cut through rectangle. Let's move this over there, move it up. The height and the width. Oh, I see. Okay, so this needs to be rotated 90 degrees. And then the height needs to change, and the width needs to change. Maybe. Oh, okay. So where's our width? I'm trying to figure out how to do width. Obviously we have width there, but it's like not that right. Maybe if I move this just to the right, and it cuts. It's a long beam. Maybe this needs to go 90 degrees again. So we'll make this 180. And what if we change the width here, or the height here? Definitely. Oh, there we go. That's it. I'll figure this out eventually. This polycut stuff is really weird. Okay. Let's change the width to be, no, this would be height now, I think. Yeah. So we'll make that something like that. Let's go 160 for that and 225 for that. And we'll make two of these because I think there were two. And we'll move that there. Actually, I think I want this to be a little longer. Let's see what 350 looks like. Yeah, something like that. And then let's move it up ever so slightly. Okay, 160 by 350 is what I chose. Let's put that down in our notes. So windows are 160 by 350. And we're going to use rectangle, we're going to use cut through, and then we're going to use 180 and 90. So let me move this over so you can see it. That's going to be rectangle, cut through, one polygon scale. We're going to rotate 180 by 90 degrees. Okay. And we're going to have to do this a second time because there's two windows there. So I'm going to move this over to the side. All right, let's accept that and then go back into polycut and do the same thing. So we're going to take this, make this 90, this one is 180. And maybe this was 180 and this one was 90. Yeah, that's more appropriate. Okay. And then just gonna put that right into place, hit accept, and booyah. We have two identical open windows for the Handicraft Lodge. How nice. And we have our Manny in there, that's cool. Let's actually rotate him and make it look like he is opening the door, or opening the side door. This seems about right, this is pretty appropriate. I wonder if we have some filing cabinets in our fab. Let's look for filing, or maybe just cabinets. Cabinets. And let's look for price is free because we only want free stuff. Yeah, this looks good. Maybe some lockers. I don't know. If we have pictures of the inside of the Handicraft Lodge, that would be sick. That could definitely be helpful. Static mesh. Let's add a filing cabinet. And we're going to make that just a little bit smaller. Let's rotate that sucker. Let's go on in there. And that filing cabinet is honestly kind of depressing. Seems like something out of a dystopian, like, apocalyptic movie. Let's do some real filing cabinets. Something like this. That seems a little too metallic. These look pretty good. Kind of like those. Let's do high quality. We can add those to the back wall maybe. I think that would be good. All right, let's drag this into our world. Hey, hey, look at that. It looks pretty good. Just buff that up right against the wall. Yeah, that looks great. And we'll just alt drag. Do that. We'll put them right next to each other. And then let's go get one of our picnic tables and we'll put that in here as well. Unless we have a better picnic table type thing in the fab, let's just look for this table. What do we want? Dining hall? They were kind of like dining hall tables, I think. Dining hall table. And let's search for a free dining hall. Something like this. Seems pretty good. Yeah, we'll just put that in there for now. We can swap it out later. Let's look for a different filing cabinet. Because, like I said, this one is a little depressing. This one. I'm also going to save my project because my computer is starting to take off like an airplane. And all I have is filing cabinets. That's funny. These are probably really high polys. And you can tell like it's having trouble rendering some of this stuff. Let's make these just a little bit smaller. And over here, actually maybe up against the wall. I might put another one of these against the wall here. Yeah, let's rotate this 90 degrees. And then move it back. Just till it hits that wall right there. Maybe move this into the corner. We'll put that filing cabinet there. That looks fine. And then how about we rotate this 90 degrees? And let's move our mannequin this way. Let's give this room a little more depth. So I'm pretty sure there were filing cabinets here, and let's make these just a little smaller so that they don't overtake that window. And we'll move our Manny up near the window. He's just saying hi to all the campers coming by. It's kind of creepy. I need to like get some actual characters. Let's see if they have Boy Scout characters. Boy Scout. 3D. That is not a Boy Scout. That is terrifying. That is not what I want to render into my camp. Um, yeah, I feel like as a as an actual fab, like an actual mesh, a Boy Scout character is probably not um, going to be very popular. Partly because there might be some like legality with like rendering scouting into an actual game for like 3D development. So uh, we'll we'll come back to that. What if we just do camper? Let's look for camper. Oh, okay, it's gonna be like a camper van. Okay, outdoorsman. I don't know. I don't even know what to search at this point. Um, we'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in it. One thing I do want to add is I want to add some doors on these because I remember the doors kind of like swing out. So let's put some doors out here so it looks like it's open. I also just noticed that there's this little clipping thing going on here. I'm gonna probably move this wall out just ever so slightly. Let's turn off our little grid there and let's just barely move this. Let me look at my details over here and let's just barely move this out. How does that look? Okay, that looks much better. All right, so while we're here, I'm also going to go ahead and put a material onto our Handicraft Lodge. Now, from Google Earth, I can't tell what type of material this was, or this building is. I think it was kind of a concrete building, if I'm not mistaken, but it could have been a wooden building. I'm going to go with concrete for now. And if I'm able to acquire some sort of um, picture later down the road, then we can always change this material. But let's do concrete wall. And let's look for a free concrete wall. And let's see what this one looks like. And I think it was also white. I think it was a white concrete wall, maybe. And I kind of like this. It's a little too shiny. Let's do painted concrete wall white. Painted concrete wall white. Painted concrete wall. Nice. That is perfect. That is amazing. Let's add this. This might go into the full production of the game because this is really good. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. All right, so I'm just opening this up on my other screen, but we need to select all of the walls. So that's going to be basically those 4 walls. And then we're just going to take our material for the concrete wall. We're going to drop it onto the material. And yeah. So I'm noticing that this has got a lot of repetition in it, which is not the end of the world. We can probably buff that out in a different blueprint. I actually might make that blueprint really quick because I'm getting pretty good at making material blueprints. But let's go ahead and finish what we were doing here, which was just adding materials to the rest of our surfaces. So let's do concrete. Um, corrugated. We need concrete flooring. And let's put concrete flooring down for that. And we'll put a cement floor down for this. Let's see what the fab has for a cement floor. Chances are, whenever they were making this pedestal here, it was probably like a cement, like a quick crete type of thing. So we want a cement floor, not a concrete floor. Is there a difference? I don't know. There's industrial concrete floor. I like that too. That is nice. Huh, I might add that to my project. That's pretty good. I could probably use that sometime. Maybe rough concrete floor. Yeah, that looks good. Let's add that one. And we're gonna put that on this pedestal up front. So let's zoom out over there. And this is gonna be our material, and this is the rough concrete floor. Let's just drop it onto that material. And yeah, let's get the content browser out of the way. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is probably needs to be chipped up a little bit. You know, it's a little bit too square. Same with the rest of the buildings. Like they're a little bit too, I guess, like geometrical. And so we could probably do with a little bit of wear and tear on the building. So I'm going to figure out how to do that at some point. Okay, last thing we need is to build a door that like hinges up for this. So to do that, we are just going to go to our architecture, and we're going to add maybe a wall 200. And let's get that out here so that we can see it. Bring it a little bit closer to us. All right, and the first thing I'm going to do is rotate it 90 degrees. And then I'm actually going to make this really thin because this is like a big plywood door. So we're going to make it like probably like that. And then we also need to make it smaller this way and this way. And then we just need to move it into position. So we're going to move it next to the front. And let's move it this way. And we just need to approximate probably the size of this door or this window. We're going to move it up here. And then let's make it bigger in that way, and that way. And we'll move that down. Okay. I think that looks okay. We could probably make this a little bit bigger. Something like that. And that could probably just be a tiny bit bigger. All right, cool. So I'm literally just going to move this closer, move it up ever so slightly, and then we're gonna duplicate it and then move it over to the other one, because they should be the same exact size. And then we're just gonna rotate. I see. Okay. We're gonna rotate. How do I want to do this? Let's rotate like that. And then we're gonna have to reposition these. We're gonna move it out, and then move it up. And let's move it out just ever so slightly. And we probably need to move it out and down again so that it's on some hinges. Basically like that. Okay. That seems a little obnoxious. I feel like this is how the windows worked. I can't recall 100%, but I think this is right. Kind of want to hinge this up just a little more. Oh, I see the hinge is on my side, so I need to rotate this by 180. And then let's translate just a little bit where we touch the wall. And we go up. And we're just barely overlapping there. Actually, that looks pretty good. We just need to move this over. Something like that. That is a Handicraft Lodge if I've ever seen one. Let me. You think they swing inward? Okay. We could definitely make them swing inward pretty easily because I think we're centered here. We just need to rotate 180 this way. And then translate just a little more. And then probably need to move that down now. Let me turn off snapping so that I can get this a little more precise. And then let's move it down. It'll look a little better. Put it down just ever so slightly. That maybe makes more sense. And then if we move it in just a tad, and then up, something like that maybe. Okay, we're gonna leave them swinging inward. I think we have a consensus. All right. I downloaded a bench seat or like a dining room seat. I don't remember what it was called, so I have so many things already downloaded, so I'm gonna have to search for this. I think it was dining room table, and that is, yeah, it's pretty big. I think it could probably be a little smaller. Maybe like that. I don't know. Let's compare our mannequin and put on surface snapping. All right, how does that look? That seems about right. And I think there were like maybe 2 tables. I would love to try to make a pulley system for these and then have it like automated or something. Whenever the campers come in or like daytime, it like opens up or something. That would be cool. I think I do remember the pulley system. Honestly, I wasn't in here all that often. I was probably in the Handicraft Lodge more as a participant, like as a scouter, than whenever I was a staffer. I think these benches though were going this way, so I'm going to snap that so I can get these 90 degrees. And then let's just duplicate this one, move it over here. All right. I think that's good. I'm going to duplicate this door so that it doesn't look too crazy whenever I view in and there's no door. And we'll just get a rotation here at 90 or 180 rather. And it should be exactly on par with that door. And move it in just a little bit right there. Cool. Nice. All right. I kind of want to put another filing cabinet over here. So let's get it on a 90-degree. There might have been a sink over here. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly? Let's just make this one a little bit smaller. Okay. Trading post inside, handicraft was out back. Big shop sink. Mm, okay. Oh, I see. So like this was the trading post, is what you're saying. And then the handicraft section was like on a picnic table out behind the Handicraft Lodge. Oh, that's right. There were some picnic tables over here, wasn't there? Yeah, okay. I think I remember those. I certainly remember the picnic table up by the trading post, which was the old headquarters, I think, before the admin building. Um, okay. Abby, do you want to be a Manny in this scene? Let's add a mesh, and we'll put in a Quinn. Unless you feel like there's someone more appropriate that should be in the Handicraft Lodge. I feel like there's probably a few people that come to mind for me, like my years that I was there. Like I feel like Keith was in here maybe. Oh yeah, Kayla would be good. That's nice. Let's call this Kayla. I forgot she was in here a lot. All right, so I'm gonna drag over my outliner. I'm gonna dock it, and then we're gonna make sure our Manny Quinn is selected, and we're gonna bring in Kayla. Awesome. Okay, I think that's it. Is there any other like Handicraft Lodge things you guys want to see in here? This is just the first pass. I don't think we're gonna keep this for the actual production game that I provide to everybody. But just for the first pass, I think this is good. Maybe we'll put a sink. Let's see if we can find a sink. I want to get just like maybe a sink, and then we'll go back to SPSR and actually put it in the spot where the Handicraft Lodge is. So let's do like shop sink. This one would be pretty awesome if the doors were closed. I don't know why they have these doors open. I mean, I guess we could do that. Ooh, this one is good. What do you think about this one? Kind of like it. Um, yeah, let's see what this looks like. Put this one in here. I think I'll move this this cabinet over. Let me go ahead and get the sink out. And then let me move this cabinet over to the side. And then I don't know if the sink came in or not, but let me try adding it again. Oh my god. That sink is huge. See, this is the problem with the marketplace is that there's way too much variability in the sizes of some of this stuff. And I just realized I deleted my floor. I don't know where my floor went. Where's the floor? What the heck? Okay, I was in the floor. Never mind. That's why it wasn't showing up. Okay, let me make this sink like way smaller. uh, so we're gonna take this down a little bit. And then let's go in here. And then we're gonna bring it into a manageable size. That might still be too big. Okay, let's move this filing cabinet over. Put that right there. There we go. That's not terrible. I think we'll leave that for now. Okay. All right. I like the Handicraft Lodge. Let's save everything so we don't accidentally lose our progress. And then let's play this really quick and just run around and see what it looks like. Let me move the lighting to be something that's like maybe morning time. I think that's probably good. Actually, I kind of want to put some light into the building. Something like that. That's not terrible. Okay, let's play that. And yeah, seems like a pretty good size handicraft lodge. Seems pretty accurate. There's Kayla. Cool. All right, so we're now going to save this as a level instance. So this is going to be our new Handicraft Lodge. And again, I'll come back and figure out how to do trusses at some point. Oh, I'm not quite done. Let me add a metal roof. And judging by Google Earth, it looks like it's just the typical corrugated painted metal roof that I've been using for a while now, which I think is pretty good. So we're gonna go find that. That's gonna be painted corrugated sheets. And we're gonna go material. We're just gonna drop that down. And let's see how that looks. Again, that's sideways, and we're gonna have to fix that. These corrugations should be going up and down, but that's good for now. We'll come back to it. I want to make sure we can get this rendered into the world first. Drop that on there. Drop this there. All right, now it's all white. That seems more like it. Okay. So at this point, we're going to make this a level instance. We're going to first group all of these things together. So we're going to have file cabinets, all the floors. We're going to add Kayla. We're going to do all the dining rooms. We're going to do scene. What is the scene? Oh, I think that's the filing cabinets, those other ones. Oh, maybe that's the sink. I don't know. The two doors. Those are the cabinets. And then all of the walls. And then we're going to go group. And then now we have a group actor right here. And then we're going to take the group actor. We're going to make a level instance. And we're going to call this Handicraft Lodge underscore li for level instance. Save that. And then let's go back to our Spanish Peaks. Pretty sure it was this one. We'll see. Sid Tilson building. I've never heard of that name. I feel like I should have known that name. It seems important. Is that the name? Oh, okay, that's the name of the Handicraft Lodge. I wonder if we could put in like a sign somewhere, if there was a sign on it. I kind of want to do that. Like, I want to have like really cool virtual signs in front of all the buildings that maybe have a little more backstory on them, and people can like explore that. But okay, so we have our placeholder metal building here, which was just a cube. I may have to sculpt the land a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and delete that. And I did make this flat earlier, but I might have to improve the leveling there. Let's see what this building looks like that we just made. This is going to be in SPSR content. It's going to be in our levels, and then it's going to be Handicraft Lodge LI. We're just going to bring it into the world and plop it down. Okay, looks like we need to immediately rotate it. And bring it 180. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to level this really quick just to get it looking a little bit better. I think I'll move it just ever so slightly. If I can, my computer's currently having troubles. Okay, there we go. Let's move it up, over, and it was maybe parallel with the road, question mark? Maybe something more like that. Obviously, this road is not complete. I need to um, I need to redo the road, but okay. Let's see, how far is that from the HQ, or not HQ, but the trading post? Okay. Let's maybe rotate that. I feel like it should be more like that. And then let's move it a little bit that way, a little bit down, a little bit out. Something like that. And then let's level off this land so that looks a little bit better. So we're going to go into landscape mode. And I think I can pick a level here. Let me make my brush size just a little bit smaller. And we're on flatten, so let's go something like there. And we're just going to flatten all this out. So that it looks a little more in line with the actual ground. Oh, nice. Okay. Sean just sent me a photo. Let me take a look. I'm going to download it as well and then maybe show it on the screen. Oh, my phone's about to die. Get this on charger. Okay. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that looks really good. Let me save this. And then share this with my computer. I should be able to pull it up on the screen here in a sec. Let me get my phone link app open. Okay. And let me just finish leveling this ground too. Mhm. We'll have to smooth this out a little bit because that's pretty abrupt. I don't think it was that high up. Should probably remove some of these trees to make this a little bit easier. All right, let's keep leveling this just ever so much. And then I think there was some more benches back here, right? So let's maybe put some picnic tables back here once we get that done. All right, let me see if my files came through. And we'll take a look at this. And just level out the land a little more. All right, I'll clean this up because this is probably not as precipitous as what it really was, but I'll smooth that out later, I think. All right, what did I say? I wanted to put a couple picnic tables back here. Let's go to selection mode and content drawer. And picnic table. Oh, and I forgot, this picnic table's massive, just like our sink was earlier. I think I'm gonna not do that right now. I'll put a picnic table in later. I need to go copy one from another area in my map. But I think our player start was right over here, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the game, and we're gonna let that render really quick. And I'm having a tough time sending these files to my computer, so I'm gonna send them over email, and we're gonna take a look at them and compare. Outlook. Send to myself. Okay. All right. There's the Handicraft Lodge. And yeah, that seems pretty good. I feel like maybe it should be a little bit closer to the road. I think at this point I should probably get the roads looking a lot more accurate because this is just a placeholder spline for this road. But that's okay. All right, let me grab my file from my email really quick. And let me pull it up because we can compare it to what we got going on here. Okay. Let me save this into my temp directory. Sorry, bear with me for a second. Call this Handicraft. Okay, so this is what the Handicraft Lodge looks like. And in our game, if we move that over, let's go up here and just see how that looks. Okay, yeah, maybe it was a little more parallel with the road. It seems a little less. It looks like I have a little more of an angle going on. It also is not as steep as what this looks like, is it? Unless it's like looking down, but it's a good start. We'll massage it too as we go. Um, we'll definitely add some rocks. It looks like there was the doors is a double door. It's not a single door like what we have, so we'll have to find a double door. There's like a little electrical meter on the right side, the left side of the door. we'll put a Handicraft Lodge sign at the top. Yeah, it looks like those side doors for the windows definitely swung in, like you were saying. So good call. Um, and then I guess there wasn't a concrete pad, was there? It's just a little rug thing. So we'll get rid of the concrete pad up front. But yeah, I think it's a good start. Um, all right, so we did the trading post, and we also did the Handicraft Lodge today, which I think were two of the big projects I wanted to get done, and at least for today. I will say we do have a picnic table right here, so let's go ahead and copy that, and then I think, oh, this is part of the big level instance, so maybe I won't copy it out for now, but yeah, I think I'll be done for today. I appreciate you sending those photos over, Sean. I'll be making sure the campsites are in the right spots and maybe move them around if I have to, but that really helps out a lot. And also for the trails, those are awesome. I'm gonna love putting that down as well in the real world or in the Unreal um, engine. So yeah, if there's any more thoughts or recommendations you have so far, shoot them my way. I'm definitely open to suggestions if you guys remember things differently or want to provide any feedback or whatever. Let me know. But I'll see you guys later.